Mike wasn't surprised, just felt it a shame. How could you take all restaurant leftovers? We already brought back some cooked food. It looks a bit rough, but I still don't want to sell it. It looks like you should let him have a serving. You should check it out. All right, I will. Mike's kindness is really heartwarming. Mike's kindness impacted his brother, prompting Toshi's later crucial decision. On his way home, Mike spotted a familiar figure, rushed to confirm, and embraced him tightly. On the way home, Toshi couldn't help but ask, "Who was that kid you hugged?" How did he know? He's my brother. We really wanted to meet him. Are you okay? I don't understand where he is or where I might have seen him. Maybe we met when we were kids. After so many years apart, Mike recognized his brother at a glance. Though they had different fathers, they shared a similar childhood. Mike yearned for family, and compared to his brother, he was lucky, especially during his time living with Toshi's family. Living with the Toshis, Mike studied comfortably, made swift progress, and even earned a spot on the school basketball team. However, as a novice, he knew nothing about the rules and couldn't comprehend the coach's words. Players, they are players. We can't wait until we get smacked to figure it out. But this kid seems like he doesn't want to fight anyone. He must be a player. I believe he'll become a player. I spent all my allowance to help him learn. I thought you said that's your habit. After all, he's played before, wouldn't he get crushed? If he doesn't improve, he'll lose the chance. His brother trained him personally to get Mike on court. He thought it a joke, but his brother said seriously, "Don't disappoint everyone, let's try." Look, everyone in the game is hoping you'll become a star player. Don't want to disappoint them, right? No. His brother expected much of Mike, yet he never thought of quitting. The relationship grew tighter. As Mike got closer with Toshi's family, rumors reached Toshi's ears. Friends teased Mike, calling him King Kong, saying he could eat down her husband's restaurant. Toshi just laughed. However, those arrogant and haughty ladies went even further in their behavior, and Toshi truly had brought about a significant change in Mike's life. Yet she hadn't considered her daughter's feelings, so she seriously asked her daughter if living under the same roof as Mike made her uncomfortable. However, her daughter's thoughts were far more complicated than she had anticipated. She had considered a lot. She wanted to be a good friend to Mike, but she felt uneasy about this situation. She desired to become good friends with Mike, but she didn't know how to convey it. With so much happening in her life, she felt a bit lost and kept trying to connect with Mike. Despite her efforts to adapt, it didn't seem to have much effect at all. But last night I had the conflict with my roommate. She said I was a bit antisocial. At that moment I felt like a clown, but I knew I had to stay true to myself. Looking for assistance, Mike approached Toshi, saying he wanted to get a driver's license. Toshi questioned, "You don't even have a car. What do you need a license for?" Mike replied, "I just want an ID to prove who I am." They checked with the local office only to find Mike's name wasn't in the system at all. So he went home to discuss with her husband. They ultimately decided to make Mike a legal part of their family. However, while processing the paperwork, Toshi learned for the first time about Mike's tragic childhood through the records. He had never seen his father. All he knew was from the principal, who told him his father jumped off a bridge late at night. "We need her assurance, right?" No, Mike, as a national officer, just needs to recognize and confirm. So Yad gave him a choice without even telling his mom. Yet, as a mother herself, Toshi decided to visit Mike's mother. This was her first encounter with a woman who looked worn out and frail. When she learned Toshi wanted to adopt Mike, her words were filled with guilt. "He's a runaway. Every time he comes home, he comes to find me that night. No matter where I am, he comes to find me and takes care of me." When Toshi asked about Mike's background and real name, she couldn't help but break that. "Because Mike's father left them a week after he was born. That's why I'll always be Mike's mom." "Do you want to see him?" "No, it's not like that. He's William." When she learned his name was William, Toshi was moved by his sincerity and agreed to the adoption of Mike, tightly grasping her hand. True strength isn't about fighting or rescuing, but about seeing his vulnerabilities and providing gentle support. After obtaining Mike's mother's consent, Toshi's family formally asked Mike if he was willing to be part of their family. Instinctively, Mike looked at his sister and then at his brother. "I've thought it over. Mike now has his very first ID. After getting his driver's license, Dad bought him a pickup truck. Mike excitedly took his brother for a ride, but had an accident at the intersection. When Toshi arrived at the scene, she found that the front of the car was crumpled and Mike was in deep guilt. I'm fine. Mike, help me, I'm so sorry. However, his brother only had minor injuries. The staff told Toshi that it was a miracle. Given the violent impact when the airbag deployed, the brothers should have been dead or severely injured. In that dangerous moment, it had to be divine intervention that blocked the harm. Toshi was grateful for divine protection until she saw Mike's injured right arm and suddenly realized the truth. Actually, Mike shielded his brother with his body in that dangerous moment. But that was also Mike's weakness. Although he had the protective instinct, he never wanted to harm anyone. To succeed in football, he must overcome this weakness. Yet, he struggled to grasp the coach's words in training.